1879, there was a slave trade between the Portuguese and the Dutch. Upon that slave trade, Africans were arriving in Japan. Out of that shipment stood a man 6 feet 2 inches. He was like a god amongst men, and being well versed in the language as well as the martial arts, having the physical appearance and the physical skill, became the first African samurai. They named him Yasuke, meaning the black one. What I love the most is the depictions, the statues that I see. Each one, he looks like he is at his most peaceful, most relaxed, most centered, gathered. I absolutely love the depictions that I see, and an incredible and enriching story, being able to showcase and display the uniqueness of the black man. Today, we'll be going over the fragrance from Xarmony Perfumes Yasuke. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the owner, Trill Noel. Thank you for creating these amazing fragrances, these amazing journeys. I look forward to trying out this fragrance. Let's get into it. Dry down on this hand, and we're going to try the fragrance fresh on this one. There's a sparkly, soapy, sort of citrus dance that's happening right in that opening, accompanied by a floral. Floral is slightly peppery, bright fuzzy. Something came off slightly sparkly. I was going to say ginger. If something dirty, something a soil, reminds me of a patchouli. Really nice, rich, sparkly soil. This comes off like a wet, damp, rich soil. You get a soapy, woody accord that comes up a little bit more as well. Really slight aldehyde, dry, slightly resinous wood, not real deep, very light. And the depiction of patchouli comes up a little bit more. Has a little bit of a grassy vibe as well. The wood that I'm catching feels like a bamboo. Comes off slightly dry, slightly damp, sort of green, very light. Normally when I see wood depictions, you think of the outer portion of the wood, the brown, and then you think of the lighter inside portion. Here, I feel like I'm catching just the inside portion. I'm not getting that outside smoky sort of depiction, that dark brown depiction. Something just seems really light, really sort of bright about this wood note. I want to say for a brief second, I possibly am catching an apple as well, right in that opening. You get some musk that comes up a little bit later on in that dry down. So here are my guesses. Apple, jasmine, bamboo, patchouli, ginger, musk. And honestly, I feel like you can't really have a samurai depiction without leather. There's something really, really chill, really slight, very faint, resinous, just lingering way in the background. I can't quite place it, but I want to call out a leather. I've been calling out leather quite a bit, but we'll stick with that. I'm gonna also say that there's a citrus, possibly a mandarin orange. That's all I got. What I love the most about this fragrance is that soil-like depiction. You got a black man arriving in Japan, and the name that the natives give to him is Yasuke, the black one. And so it sounds rich, it sounds dense, it sounds dark. The first thing I think of is a nearly black, rich, like super nutrient rich soil. A person taken from their homeland and planted in a new place. And immediately, growth. Love the soft, airy, resinous vibe that's happening here. Love the freshness in the opening. I love the depiction of patchouli in here, or what I feel is patchouli, and how it's rich, it's dark, but it has almost like this sparkly vibe, almost giving off the depiction of newness, of freshness, of new beginning, which soil in this case would be perfect for that. This particular fragrance features notes of Japanese cherry blossoms, Moroccan cedarwood, matsutake mushroom, Japanese red cedar, Japanese sea salt, Neophoenicia falcata, after the rain, animal musk, pheromones, zesty citrus, isoe super, agarwood, black oud, 5% of inari, cypress, sulfur, vanilla, amber, orchid, peach, meadow, sake, and oud. The note layout on this one is very peculiar. I love the depictions. I love what he chose to go with. I love the use of pheromones and the isoe super, creating an allure. As he arrived in that country, I'm sure that there was a mystique and an allure about him, having mushroom to add a savory aspect to it, cherry blossoms with some nice floral aspects, and Japanese sea salt, animal musk, which is probably where I was catching some of the vibe that came off like a leather, combining with that isoe super. The part that's crazy is I really thought that I was catching a patchouli, bright and sparkly and deep, dense soil. I really thought I was catching that. It could be a combination of that cypress and that sulfur, as well as some of the accords in the metal note that I may have been catching. I just knew for sure that I was catching patchouli. This journey into Xarmony Perfumes has been an extraordinary one that has been rewarding, in me trying to pick out and find notes and see what I can identify on this journey. And sometimes where it's just you are along for the ride and you're just learning. I like the fact that this fragrance has a boldness about it, where it doesn't rely on anything to make it friendly, anything to make it more palatable, nothing to bring it no sweetness or anything like that, nothing endearing. It comes at you and it lets you know exactly what it is. This is a depiction of first African samurai, and there's going to be a lot of aspects to that story, to the origin, to the facts and the truths about it that won't be sweet, that won't be pretty. I'm pretty sure the job that he had to carry out as a samurai and as a bodyguard wasn't pretty. The mindset that you have to have. The fact that he already was fluent in the language shows how serious he was, shows how prepared he was. There was no games, no gimmicks, just a calm for whatever storm he chose to display. This is the story of Yasuke. I am honored that I'm even able to touch bases on this story. I'm honored to have met a perfumer that was able to bring this story to life and bring it into a form of a fragrance. You were able to pick this fragrance up on his website for 100 ml extract, $300. Various payment options available so that it's convenient for you to pick this up. I definitely recommend checking out this fragrance, at least sampling it first. The link to his website will be in the description. I've been enjoying what I've been able to pull out of this suitcase and can't wait to see what I can pull out of here next. That is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.